All right, so here's the plan. I'm feeling a little sad that the Olympics have been canceled this year, and so here's what I'm going to do about it. I am going to recreate the track and field schedule event by event, starting with the 100 meters and working my way all the way up to the 10,000 meters. I'm here at the track at Pulaski High School on 27th and Oklahoma on Milwaukee's south side. Today's the first day. We're going to start with the 100 meters and we're going to see what happens. A little bit about myself. I love track and field. I've been running it since I was in 5th grade. Honestly, I've never been much more than average at it, but I really do like it. I'm not claiming to be any sort of world-class athlete. I'm about to be 42 years old, father of 3, don't get enough sleep, I don't eat very well, but I love to get out here and run and want to see what I'm able to do. Partly, this whole idea was inspired by a tweet from Bill Murray in the last Olympics, where he said every Olympic event should have an average person competing for scale, to give you an idea of just how amazing the Olympic athletes are. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm going to be the average person given scale. All right, while I warm up, let's talk a little bit about the 100 meters. In 2016, 100 meters was won on the men's side by Usain Bolt. He covered the distance in 9.81 seconds, which by his standards wasn't a terrific time, but almost anybody that's ever lived besides him would consider that a personal best. On the women's side, Elaine Thompson won in 10.71 seconds, so just under a second slower than Bolt. World records, Bolt holds the world record, 9.58 seconds. Women's record is held by Florence Griffith Joyner, which was set back in 1987. I believe it's 10.49. It's pretty much considered untouchable as far as records go. 2016 was the 3rd Olympics in a row that Jamaica swept the both men's and women's 100 meters. Bolt won his 3rd straight. No one else has ever done that. Closest came with Carl Lewis in 84 and 88 when he won 2 in a row. And Elaine Thompson took over for Shelly Ann Fraser-Price, who had won the first 2 of that series. Personally, if I finished under 13 seconds, I'd be happy with this run. I've never been a 100-meter sprinter. It's never my event. I just don't have the raw speed and power for 100. My lifetime best in high school is probably somewhere around 12.2 or so. So if I can still hit under 13, I'd be really happy with myself. Before we start running, let's break down how the 100 meters works. The 100-meter race can really be broken down into 3 phases. The first phase is the drive phase, as the runners come out of the starting blocks and work to accelerate to top speed. During the drive phase, the runners try and stay as low as possible and put as much force into each step as they can. You can think of it as trying to push a stalled car. You get low and you push as hard into the ground as possible to get all of that big mass moving. Coming out of the drive phase, you have the transition, or sometimes called the stride phase. This is where runners finally straighten up, lift up their heads, lengthen their stride, and continue their acceleration to top speed. It's my favorite part of the race because you get up, you straighten your back, you look up, and suddenly you just feel free, you feel like you're flying. Believe it or not, even in a race as short as 100 meters, runners can't hold top speed for the entire time. Third phase of the race is the deceleration phase. This is where it's really important to stay relaxed. The Olympic 100-meter finals is unlike anything else in sports. I mean, first you got the crowd, 100,000 people completely silent, waiting for the gun to go off. You got the athletes, the 8 fastest people in the world. Out of a population of 8 billion people on the planet, these are the 8 fastest. And the odds of even making it to that starting line just seem impossible. You're talking, what, 0.00000000001% of the world's population is represented there. And then when the gun goes off, you know that you have a chance to see something that you might never see again. It's absolutely magic. It's the greatest thing in sports.